The movie begins when many years ago, Rosa and George were getting married in a village in Greece, however. In the middle of the wedding, Rosa's father was killed by some people. And whatever happened that day, and later in 1987, a man named Dimitris was going to discover the incident. In the era of 1987, the situation between Greece and Turkey was in a mess. And because of these circumstances, Dimitris' art company stopped receiving Turkish funding. Meanwhile, Dimitris was working on the exhibition for years. And now he was advised to postpone that exhibition, while Dimitris was not ready for the postponement. At the same time, Turkish history was also part of his exhibition. On the other hand, just like Dimitris, Mariana also loved to explore ancient history, although their view of ancient things was different from each other. One day, they met at the Stelio shop and Dimitris started liking her. Dimitris wanted to know about the people living in Smyrna through ancient Greek antiques. Smyrna was an area for which there was a fight between Turkey and Greece. Dimitris' family also lived in Smyrna. Moreover, in the present Smyrna was part of the Turkish area and a lost heaven for Greece. Dimitris' girlfriend Rita knew that he was missing hometown Smyrna. That's why she decided to go Smyrna with him. On the other hand, Mariana was explaining to her grandmother that she should rest while she still wants to work. Rita and Dimitris went to Smyrna, where they met a Turkish guy named Omar. While Dimitris had hate for every Turkish citizen in his heart. That's why he was not ready to talk to Omar properly. Meanwhile, he wanted to go to the parts of Smyrna where Greek history was still alive. While Omar said that Greek history is not much left there. Later, when he got the chance, Dimitris started telling Omar about the massacre that happened to the Greek people in 1922. Meanwhile, Rita kept telling him that it was the time of war, and it was not the fault of the Turkish people. Just then Rita left Dimitris alone with Omar, and at that time Mariana's grandmother was explaining to her that she should take her art in front of the world. Omar took Dimitris to a place where he got historical antiques, and in that way Dimitris went to the shop of a woman named Asli. Moreover, Dimitris only saw the history of Turkey in that shop, although Omar knew that he could get Greek antiques in the same shop. After a while, Asli brought a wedding dress, which was of a Greek woman, and there were splinters of blood on the dress. Dimitris wanted to know about the wedding. Asli told him that the wedding of that unknown woman happened on the same day, the day the Greek people were killed in Smyrna. Dimitris wanted to know the whole story of that woman and that wedding at any cost. And he was told that the family of that woman wanted to get her married as soon as possible. That's why they went to a church in Smyrna. And no one knows how many people survived that day, however. No one came out of that wedding alive. Asli's father took care of the house in which the family lived, while even after many years no one came back to that house. After years in need of money, Asli's father started renting the house, and the house was still full of historical antiques. Later, to know the whole story, Dimitris wanted to meet Asli's father. And along with those clothes, Dimitris also got the picture of the bride whose dress was in front of him. After that, Dimitris insisted on seeing the house that Asli was talking about. While Omar knew that after so many years everything would have been changed in that house. That's why they started waiting for the return of Asli's father. Dimitris wanted to know the history and find the truth. However, Omar told him that truth was the first to die in every war. Later that day, Dimitris returned to the hotel and kept thinking about the same bride. And when he looked carefully at her clothes, he found a letter which had the name of that bride as Rosa. Rosa's mother had written that letter, and she was waiting for her daughter's return to Greece. On the other hand, it turns out Rosa was Mariana's grandmother, who was troubled by her past every night. Dimitris found out that Rosa's mother had arranged a house for her in Athens, and she also had saved money for her stay. Dimitris also found out about a safe, and the password was Rosa's date of birth. And because of Dimitris' discovery, he got funding for the exhibition, and he was told that if he finds Rosa, then they can also arrange a TV show. He was not happy to know that his team only wanted to tell good things about Rosa. And he was also upset that Rita did not tell her boss about the blood on the dress. Meanwhile, Rita did not like the fact that he wanted to find Rosa and get involved in her life and help her. Although Dimitris was only trying to help Rosa because the Greek people of Smyrna and history were very important for him, because his own parents never forgot the memories of Smyrna. That's why it was very important for her to find Rosa. As he went further with his research, Dimitris got Rosa's surname, and he found out that she came to Greece alone in 1922 and no one from her family had come with her. At that time, she was pregnant and no one knew what had happened to Rosa's husband. People called Rosa crazy because she behaved strangely. However, Dimitris was most upset because Rosa's house and money had been stolen by Turkish soldiers. Soon Dimitris got Rosa's address and Rosa invited him to her house. Rosa told him that her son and daughter-in-law had been killed in an accident. Since then, she has been raising Mariana herself. Rosa was only talking to them because she thought that they could give Mariana a job, while they wanted to know about her past. Rita asks her that they wanted to know more about the life of Smyrna before the massacre. While Rosa didn't want to tell them anything, she didn't even know about her mother's letter, and she was trying to forget Smyrna. Mariana says that if her grandmother was ready to talk, she would definitely tell Dimitris. And after that day, Dimitris kept waiting for Mariana's answer day and night. Rosa says that there was no safe in her name and Dimitris just wants to rob them. That's why Mariana couldn't convince her to talk even if she wanted to. On the other hand, Rita understood that Dimitris had started liking Mariana. That's why she started getting bothered with Mariana and she started to argue with Dimitris. Meanwhile, one of Dimitris' friends came close to Rita and the rest of the work had to be done by Dimitris alone. He started working with Rosa's lawyer and that day Mariana came to meet him. They both started spending time together and Mariana told him that Rosa was not well and she needs money. That's why if there was a safe in Rosa's name, then she will have to take the safe to Rosa. Dimitris gave her all the evidence and told her that in 1955 his family had also lost everything. Meanwhile, Mariana knew nothing about her family. So in the search for the truth, she started to support Dimitris. She hid her work from Rosa, and on the other hand, Dimitris was told that his exhibition would be held in Smyrna. Later, Dimitris started to spend time with Mariana every day. And one day Mariana told him that Rosa keeps some letters hidden in which the sender's name was not written. Only some initials are written, and she has not read those letters for years. Mariana had a doubt that it was her grandfather's letter, and she wanted to know more about him. Dimitris had to find Rosa's date of birth so that he could open the safe. In the meantime, he decided to leave Rita because Rita and his thoughts didn't match. One day, Rosa called Dimitris to her house and told him to stay away from her personal life and Mariana. Rosa had completely forgotten her past and wanted to not even look at Mariana in the shadow of that past. Dimitris understood why Rosa was doing that, so he didn't feel bad about Rosa getting angry. Dimitris stopped meeting Mariana and he went to Smyrna again where he apologized to Omar for his behavior. After that, they became friends. They wanted to meet Asli's father, however. They couldn't meet him because he had died a few days ago. Dimitris was disappointed to learn that Asli's father was dead because he knew where Rosa's husband lives. On the other hand, Mariana got a postcard in which the building that was visible could take her to her grandfather. One day, a very rich man from Smyrna called Omar and Dimitris to meet him. That man was a famous art collector who found out about Dimitris' discovery. He was one of those people who wanted to bring peace between Greece and Turkey, and saying that, he gave Dimitris a picture of Rosa. He was looking for Rosa, and after knowing that, Dimitris thought that he was Rosa's husband Isagonis. Later, after returning home, Dimitris told Mariana about him, and that night their relationship also began and they got intimate. The next day, Dimitris got upset when he found out the code in the bank was wrong. That day, Mariana showed him the letter that her grandfather had sent, and then Dimitris found out that Rosa's date of birth was different from the Greek calendar. That's why the code of the safe was also different. Soon that rich Turkish man came to Athens, and then Dimitris found out that he was not Isagonis. Because Isagonis has died, and the man sitting in front of him was Ismail. Dimitris was still thinking that Mariana's grandfather was a Greek man, however. The truth of his being Turkish surprised Dimitris. Ismail gave him a letter for Rosa. Meanwhile, before he could give him the letter, Mariana came and told him that a man named Ismail had arranged an exhibition for her. After hearing Ismail's name, Rosa became unconscious. And then Dimitris left without saying anything, leaving that letter in his room. A few days later, he went to Smyrna with Rosa and Mariana, and they started waiting for the exhibitions to begin. After years, Rosa came to Smyrna, and Dimitris and Mariana were happy thinking about her. They started roaming around Smyrna and understood the history of that place. On the other hand, Rosa read the letters from Ismail that she could not gather the courage to read, and she found out that he has been living in the waiting of Rosa for years. After reading the letters all day, she decided to meet Ismail, and then the exhibition night came. In that exhibition, there were all the things that Dimitris wanted to show the world. Meanwhile, Ismail wanted to tell Mariana his truth as soon as possible because she was still thinking of him as the sponsor of his exhibition. Rosa told Dimitris that Ismail was looking for her for years, however she wanted to stay away from him. That's why she had changed her name, because she started hating Ismail. Rosa said that they both loved each other, and in the past something had happened that forced Rosa to stay away from Ismail forever. Although Ismail has been trying to fix his mistake for years, and that's why he told Mariana the truth. Ismail said that when Rosa was pregnant, her parents found out, and they did not want their daughter to marry a Turkish man. That's why they got her married to a Greek man. Ismail tried to stop the marriage. That's why he hired some people for money, while the people who had come with him wanted to kill the Greek people, and they killed Rosa's father while they were drunk. And after that day, Rosa started hating Ismail. At that time, Ismail sent Rosa away from those people because they had started killing everyone present at the wedding. After that day, Ismail was trying to apologize to Rosa every day. However, in the present, before apologizing to her, Ismail's health started deteriorating that night. In the end, Rosa came to the hospital to meet Ismail, and she told him that for years she has only loved Ismail. Finally, Ismail got the forgiveness he needed, and just after he met Rosa, he died. Rosa shed all the memories that were keeping her away from Ismail that night. And with that, Rosa also died. Later, Dimitris brought their story and Smyrna's past in front of the world, so that people could feel their pain and they won't repeat the mistake made in their past. With that, the movie ends here. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. See you next time. Take care.